Okay, this year I went to Moab. It was awesome. On my last day in Moab, I went and rode not the Porcupine Rim Trail, the Whole Enchilada, which is like the best trail in Moab. So I went down with this really old piece of junk bike. Maybe not piece of junk, but it was a really old cross country bike. And on our first day, I rode Slick Rock Trail. I wrecked big time. Second day, we rented a bike, and I was still getting used to it, so it was a little bit scary. I didn't push myself at all because I didn't want to wreck. When we went and did the whole enchilada, I was on that the rental bike, and it was awesome. It was a Trek Fuel EX7, and it was the perfect bike for me. So today I'm talking about why the bike for you is the perfect thing. So there's many different types of bikes. There's cross country, downhill, enduro, just to name a few. So every person is different. We all have different specs and capability levels and height and weight that need to be taken into account when buying a bike. So one thing that's good to have in a bike three things that are good to have in a bike is the right size of wheel, the right shock settings, and a dropper post. The reason the right size of wheel is important is because if you're a tall person, you're going to want a bigger wheeled bike because when you stand, like the bigger wheels will help you pedal. It increases your pedal efficiency as well as it allows you to roll things. So currently I'm riding a 26-inch tire size bike. It feels really small because I can't hit anything. It's like this big. So it's hardly big at all. But in Moab on the whole enchilada, I rode a 29-inch bike, the biggest that you can get. Well, almost the biggest you can get. And it was perfect. I could hit drops this big, like jumps this big, and I could just roll over them without any problem. On the 26-inch bike, I would have to jump them or I would wreck. So that's one reason the right size of bike tire helps. Also, it helps that if you're a cross country racer, you're going to want smaller. Well, it depends on the cross country racer, but different people need different bike tire sizes. Number two was my second opinion was type of bike. So there are three main types of bikes in the full suspension world. There's cross country or XC, enduro, and downhill. Downhill bikes are built for downhill. They've got shocks with like 300 millimeters of shock travel, which is a lot for a mountain bike. You get on it and it's bouncy. You can jump up and down without hardly doing anything. They're perfect for hitting big jumps and just sending it down the mountain. But they suck for the uphill because the bounce sucks up your pedal stroke. It makes your pedal strokes inefficient. So if you're going for cross country, get a cross country bike. A cross country bike has maybe 160 millimeters of travel in the back and 160 in the front as well. That's perfect for climbing. And a lot of times they've got a switch that you can press and it locks it out. So you jump on your bike and you start pedaling. You can click the lockout switch for your back shock, and your pedal efficiency increases by a ton since your shocks aren't sucking up your pedal stroke. So that's a good reason to get XC if you're going for cross country. Enduro is a mix of the two. It's got quite a bit of travel, but it's got a really good, like you use enduro for downhill and cross country. It's just like the perfect everyday bike. They're great because the suspension is enough that you can hit big things without hurting yourself or the bike, and you can lock out the suspension, which gives you the added oomph you need in your pedal stroke. The last thing I wanted to talk about is a dropper post. I mean, who doesn't want a dropper post? If you don't know what a dropper post is, it's a seat post that goes up and down. It's like perfect. You want your seat low when you go downhill on your bike because you don't want it jamming into your butt crack or into your crotch, which would suck. So you get a dropper post, and it's just like the perfect thing. You can sit on it, like you press the button and it goes up. You sit on it for your uphills, and then you sit on it, press the button while you're sitting on it, and then it goes down, and then you can stand up on the pedals and not worry about getting hurt. So that's why a dropper post is really nice to have in a bike. In conclusion, I recommend that you choose the right bike for you. Who cares if it's cross country, enduro, or downhill? It could even be a hardtail. Everybody has different preferences. You might not want 29-inch tires, but you might want 26. It's different for everybody. But I encourage you to find your bike type and go find it and use it and increase your pedal efficiency and get out in the world and begin your bike journey. Thank you.